I just wanted to thank you, each of you, first for your dedication and commitment to this community, but also your dedication and commitment to public safety in this community. And I look forward to working with each of you in the future, partnering to make this, continue to make this the place to live that it is, and working hard on some of the more difficult issues that we'll be facing, and that the whole Eastern Shore is facing with opiate abuse and addictions and dealing. So I look forward to partnering with you. And let me say that I'd just like to say publicly that the people that you have working in county government that I've met over the past week have reached out to me personally and gone above and beyond helping me understand county government, understanding how it works and budget issues. And I want to thank you so you can get that back to them. We truly do have wonderful, wonderful people dedicated in county government here, and I've been very impressed.
We look forward to working with you as partners, and we have a lot of situations facing us here as a county. As you mentioned, the opioid situation and public safety is important to this council. I believe of the 10 new persons we brought on board through last budget, 7, if I'm not mistaken, were public safety. So this council has definitely put its money where its mouth is when it comes to public safety, and I'm assured going forward, this new council will likewise continue that trend of making sure that we attend to the needs of public safety, first from your department as well as from Mr. Stamp's department, when it comes to making sure that we give our citizens the best that they absolutely deserve. And again, anything that we can do for you, anytime you want to come and brief us quarterly or whatever you decide, please know this door is open for you to come and let this council know what your department needs, not just on budgetary sessions, but anytime you feel free to come give us a piece of your, what's that, a piece of your mind, but.
Just congratulations. It was a long wait from the primary. They should do that differently in the future because it's got to be tough on all parties involved, but we're very much looking forward to a good working relationship with you. And it was a wonderful ceremony last week on your swearing in, and it was particularly touching when you turned and addressed the deputies and spoke from your heart to them. I think it was much appreciated, and it was a pleasure to be there.
Thank you. Thank you for attending.
You were telling us about riding around with each individual deputy, getting to know them and hearing what they have to say, and we appreciate all the hard work that all the deputies are doing for the citizens of Talbot County every day. But the one-on-one discussions that you're having will help ease the transition from the previous sheriff to you, and we appreciate all your positive energy and your really just getting to know the individuals that we have. We're very fortunate to have on our sheriff's department staff. So thanks for everything. Good luck, and we look forward to working with you in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Once again, we're extremely fortunate, Sheriff. How many times have you heard there's a new sheriff in town? It's an honor to be here and have a new sheriff, and me and you being in a new role. It's where I think that we need to go in the future, and I think that it's going to be great working with you and all your deputies, and I look forward to helping you guys get what you need to solve some of the issues in the county, and I really appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you, sir. It's going to take all of us, and I greatly appreciate your words of encouragement.
Yeah.
As you can see, I'm still involved in the TIPS, the alcohol awareness class. 1,698 people have trained, 162 classes, still having issues. Previous speakers, we heard about drugs. We got to realize that alcohol is still the #1 drug that kills our kids. It's an issue in our county. I'd like to sit here and tell the county council that things are getting better when we do our compliance checks, but I don't know if you're updated on it, they're not. The last couple we've had sent in 3 cadets, and a couple places sold all 3 cadets, so this is still an issue.
Do you think those issues rely on just training, or on the side of the property or the merchants? Are they just not training their staff appropriately?
The managers are trying very hard.
Okay.
If you look at the overall businesses, establishments in Talbot County, they're trying everything they can do. I mean, they give them one-on-one, they're paying for their training. When they come in, they sign a paper that you don't sell this, you don't sell to a minor, and turn their backs, and it happens. It's frequently that happens. One of the, I don't know if you noticed in my report that I sent you, that bothers me, if a minor, a person who's under 21, has a vertical license. There are cadets that we send out with this vertical license, present it to the clerks, and they sit right there and sell to them. I don't understand.
And they've been trained and
They've
told
been,
that
they've
vertical
been
license
trained
on
and
the
trained.
21.
I send out emails recommending to the businesses that even though it's legal to accept them if the person's already turned 21 because they're valid for 90 days, that they should have an in-house policy not to accept them.
Okay.
It's going to solve a lot of problems. A lot of establishments won't be charged it because they're not going to sell them. Once the cadets or any minor, that's what concerns me. If we send in 3 cadets and all 3 cadets were sold alcohol, what happens with the other 20 or 50 or 100 kids that go in there and start advertising on Facebook, hey, I went to this establishment, they're not checking them properly. And so I just think if we can get to the point where just presenting that license, if the owners would say, okay, we're not going to accept them, then that'll solve that major problem.
Help me out a little bit. When the bartender serves underage, does the owner get in trouble and the person that serves?
The way it's worked in Talbot County, right now we do only troopers and cadets or employees of the police department. The cadets usually go in and the trooper is either outside or nearby. Once the sale is made, the trooper identifies himself, him or herself, and they issue a citation to the actual seller, being the store clerk. They have to go to district court. It's a civil citation and it's up to the judge at district court what action they want to take. But within 48 hours, the trooper or the town police has to send a written report to the liquor board, Talbot County Liquor Board. The liquor board will read over that report and determine if they think it's enough evidence. If they do, they think it's enough evidence, they then call in the owners, the person who is on the license, the licensees, and that turns into an administrative hearing. And the liquor board decides what action they're going to take against the business.
And our liquor board right now is in a bit of a shambles.
That's my understanding.
From what we're hearing, we're losing 2 of our 3, or have lost 2 of our 3 members. And I think we're making a request to the state to expedite those appointments so we can have a fully functioning liquor board.
That's my understanding also.
Kenley, thank you for your service to the community and all that you do. I know that we talked sort of outside of the public forum here about some concerns that were expressed to me a few months ago regarding the shutdown of businesses who are found in violation. There is sometimes a 3-day suspension of liquor sales where businesses have to shut down for 3 days. And you and I talked about that. And you know, when you look at that, I do have some concerns, and I'm talking with the county attorney to see what we might be able to do. I don't want to lessen the penalties, but I also don't want to penalize the person flipping burgers in the kitchen who loses his job for 3 days because of the business being shut down. I think we need to try to find a way where we can penalize the business for the lax oversight or whatever is the problem that creates the infraction, but at the same time don't penalize the person who has no role in the problem. So I'm going to be looking at that with the county attorney and maybe bringing forth some ideas. I want there to be a real penalty when people especially don't, if they get found guilty one time and then they do it again and they don't correct the problem. I think you have to have an escalating punishment because it should hurt after a while, because if they're not correcting the problem. But I think that to be fair to the other people working in the establishment, the waitresses or the people in the kitchen or the cleaning company or whoever is associated with that business, I'd like to see if we could maybe have a higher fine or something that that allows the business to stay open, but maybe still makes it hurt. We'll be talking about that in the near future. I'd like to talk with you about it just one-on-one to get your thoughts.
When the kids are drinking underage and they go to the court and the fine is, you know, $50 or $100 and mommy and daddy pay it, there's nothing to prevent them really from doing it again, because it's not a big deal. And if the fine's for the person, I mean, as a business owner, if my employee does something wrong, if I were owning a liquor store and I had done everything that I was supposed to do as a business owner or as the manager to train my employees, but decide they're going to sell to their friends anyway, again, like you said, you're penalizing either the other employees or the business owner. And if the penalty is not that steep for the person who is selling to the underage person, maybe that's where some of the penalty needs to go, that you do this. And it's not just a $100 fine, because again, it's like the kids who are buying underage and it's $50 and mom and dad pay it. Maybe that's, you know, something to look at as well.
I know the commission, the BRCOC, was looking at basically what you are talking about was strengthening the penalty portion of our code. We haven't gotten there yet, but I know that was one of the recommendations they had left off with, and hopefully once we get the group restructured and back on track, they can bring us some suggestions as far as how we can do that. On the other side of it, I do know that on the penalty side of it, that many times that the establishment may lose the ability to sell alcohol, but they're still open.
Right.
A lot of our grocery stores, as you know, that will have the ability to sell beer and light wine, if they are found in violation, they could lose the ability to sell. And I've seen some of the cases that were locked up with locks, so people couldn't open them, but they could still go in there and buy their juice and their bread and so forth. So.
And if I could, I've had the opportunity to talk to our new sheriff, and I'm sure once he gets settled in, that we'll be working together very closely. Be a good working relationship.
Great, Kelly.
Excellent.
Okay, please, thank you.
Thanks a lot.